Hey everyone, we're in the middle of July. We're more than halfway through the year already. So let's take a look at 5 of the best movies of the year. Usually I don't like to do stuff like this because it's actually a lot more fun talking about the worst movies. And we'll get into that a little bit at the end of this. But this year we've seen a tremendous amount of movies. So we're just going to go through the top 5. We'll save top 10 for the end of the year. Now, the only requisition on this list is the movie had to be released in 2017. So while we have seen good movies from the past, for this show, solely new movies. Alright, so that's the criteria. So for our first movie, this is kind of in no particular order. I do want to give a shout out to one particular movie, the movie Get Out. Excellent movie. If you have a chance, go out of your way to see it. Very good movie. Just not better than the 5 movies I am going to choose. Some of these movies are going to probably shock you. Some of them won't. So enough with that. Let's go to number 5. Number 5, quite frankly, I know I'm going to get a lot of grief on this, and I actually did give it a lower score review than some of the other movies I've did. But number 5 is actually going to be none other than the superhero movie, Logan. Logan, Hugh Jackman's swan song to the character of the fictitious character of Logan, Wolverine. And he went out on a high note. Directed by James Mangold. This movie was everything Wolverine fans wanted. I had certain issues with the movie, but there's no denying that the action was solid. We finally got the Wolverine movie we wanted to see, and hopefully Hugh Jackman decides to change his mind and come back to it. This movie's action-packed. It's bloody as hell. It's everything you kind of wanted to be. You had cursing going up and down, Patrick Stewart being Patrick Stewart, except this time a little bit mentally ill. So this movie was a lot of fun. Go out of your way to see it. You know, hopefully they talk Hugh Jackman into coming back. So if you want anything more, go watch that review. So that's my number 5. So let's go to number 4. Number 4. Our number 4 movie is actually a movie that a lot of people didn't watch. It's kind of an independent movie. It was commissioned by Amazon, and I really love this movie. This movie is grandeur. It's none other than The Lost City of Z. The Lost City of Z is based on the true story about Percy Fawcett and his adventures in the Amazon, starring Charlie Hunnam. This movie is amazing. This is a grand movie that a lot of people didn't see because it was kind of low rent, meaning it wasn't put out in a lot of theaters. But I got to see it twice. Its grandeur is beautiful. Beautiful scenery. I love the action in the movie. Nice storytelling. Not a bad performance in this movie. It was absolutely a joy to watch. Charlie Hunnam finally getting a good acting gig. Or finally getting a gig he can finally sink his teeth into. And he knocked it out the park. He absolutely emoted the hell out of Percy Fawcett. Great movie. It's out, you know, when you have a chance, go watch it. Very solid movie. That's pretty much all I can say about it. Just because I don't want to ruin it. I did 2 reviews with it. I did one by myself, spoiler free. I did one with Jeff. You know, we usually do spoiler heavy ones. And also it was kind of nice to see a grand movie, and you know, Jeff's still a teenager. Well, he just became a teenager. And he's used to either cartoons or comedies or action flicks, and this is just more of a struggle and a journey. Tom Holland is in it, so it goes for that. Yeah, a lot of people didn't see this movie. If you have a chance, it's well worth it. It is worth. It's 2 hours and about 15 minutes, and while you do feel it, you also have to realize this is a period piece. This takes place in the early 1900s, and it goes from 1900s to the early 1920s. Absolutely go out of your way to see it. That's all I can say. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, another movie that a lot of people didn't see. This one's a little bit of a cheat because it actually was made in 2016, but it didn't get a theatrical release until, unfortunately for this movie, it was dumped in the middle of January. And it's really a shame. This movie's awesome. This is, let me just go. Number 3, Founder. The story of how McDonald's became the national food chain it is, starring Michael Keaton, is amazing. This is one of the this is a movie I take in the vein of something like The Wolf of Wall Street or The Big Short, where this movie pisses you off. The main character pisses you off because he's fucking over people, but he's so good at it. This is the story of McDonald's and how the Michael Keaton's character steals it from the McDonald brothers, and he is an absolute monster. But Michael Keaton plays it to perfection, I have to say. If you can watch it, I believe it's on Amazon now. I got it on Blu-ray the minute it came out. I saw it. I absolutely fell in love with it. Go out of your way to see it. I give it high praise. This is my number 3 movie. So let's go to number 2. Number 2 movie is another superhero movie. It's a sequel. I absolutely adored this movie. I didn't think I was going to feel the range of emotions I did. It's another movie I reviewed twice. I reviewed it once with myself, and I reviewed it with Jeff. Both times, actually, they were within 24 hours of each other, because I literally saw it the Friday it came out, and then at 12 o'clock the next day, me and Jeff saw it in 4DX. We had a blast. None other than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, obviously a sequel to the first one. This movie, I went into this movie having already seen a bunch of reviews and heard people stating that they didn't think it was as good as Part 1. Some people said it was lame, whatever. I didn't watch the movie these guys saw. What I saw was, not only was it a fun movie and we got to learn about almost all the characters except Drax the Destroyer, and even he had his moments, but it was so heart-gripping. Yondu stole the show in this movie. He had great interactions with Rocket Raccoon. He had great reactions with Chris Pratt's Star-Lord. Any scene Yondu was in was instantly amazing. His battle with Ego, Kurt Russell's character at the end, was really good. Oh, and he had one-liners to die for. Who can forget the part where Star-Lord is flying down and Yondu's flying down with him and he's holding his whistling arrow, and Chris Pratt character goes, "Oh, you look like Mary Poppins." Yondu goes, "Who's Mary Poppins? Is he cool?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I'm Mary Poppins, dude." It's an awesome delivery, awesome line. Only problem I had with the movie is there's a couple of times where they needed to just let the moment settle. They couldn't end everything. They had to end everything with a joke. There's a really heartfelt scene, I think I mentioned this in one of the other reviews, where Nebula gives her backstory on why she wants to kill Thanos, and fuck did they not kill the mood with that stupid ass joke about the guy saying, "Oh, I would have got jewelry." Fuck you. The joke wasn't necessary. You could have had another emotional moment there, because that scene was freaking deep. I love the hell out of this movie. I didn't think I really would. This is a whole series that I didn't think I would. So, that's my number 2 movie. Now we're gonna go to number 1. This should be no surprise. So, number 1 on this is gonna be an action flick. Number 1 on this is actually gonna be an action flick. Now there are many ways you can kill a person. In many action flicks now we shoot people, but this movie gets innovative in all honesty. There are deaths with things like hangers, belts, a Wii remote, of course knives, but there is nothing more exhilarating for a crowd than to watch someone get killed with a fucking pencil. My number 1 movie for the first half of the year is none other than John Wick Chapter 2. What can I say about this movie? These movies between Part 1 and Chapter 2, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, reinvigorated a genre that has been desperately in need of it. This movie's freaking amazing. Say what you want about the story. I know a lot of people said the story kind of drags at the end when they get to their final set piece, but I think it actually kind of drags at the beginning when you kind of get the start of it. This is a movie that hits you right from the start. Whether it's the opening scene with the car chase of the motorcycle, whether it's the chop shop battle, this movie's freaking amazing. And it really is a love letter not only to action movies, it's a love letter to cinema. Because this is stylish as hell. The first one was very stylish with their, obviously, you know, how they do the subtitles and everything like that. But this movie just amps it up to the nth degree. The fight scenes, the choreography is amazing. This is a movie I didn't see just once, not twice, not 3 times. I saw it 4 times in theater. I saw it for the premiere, so that means I got to see it for free. I saw it that opening Saturday, which is actually the first review with Raul, you know, my son Jeff, in a car. That was the first video on this site. I saw it in 4DX. I took a girl out to see it, so this movie is freaking amazing, and everyone had a lot of fun with this. This isn't a cerebral movie. This movie is just freaking fun, and it's quotable as hell, just like any Keanu Reeves film you would see. Hell, every time I have a big lunch, you know, me and my coworker Arsalan would go, "Oh, I think I need something robust." The last line he says in the movie freaking is my favorite line of the year. "I'll kill them. I'll kill them all." These are one-liners only Keanu Reeves can get away with, in all honesty. I totally enjoyed this movie. We had a ball. You know, we've seen it multiple times since we got it on Blu-ray, as you can see right here. But non-stop balls to the wall fun. That's the only way I can talk about this movie. The set pieces were amazing. Each fight scene didn't feel the same as the last. I actually like the soundtrack. I actually bought the soundtrack. Jerry Cantrell's A Job to Do at the end. It's one of those songs where I was like, I know that voice. I haven't heard an original Jerry Cantrell song since I think since '97 when he did his solo album, Bog Depot. Even that got me. This movie's a lot of fun. If you know me, if you've been on this site, obviously me and Jeff are Keanu Reeves fans. We had a lot of fun with this, so that's my #1 movie. And quick disclaimer, I don't think I hit on it at the beginning. The only reason Spider-Man Homecoming is not on this list is because it came out in July. I'm just focusing on January to June 30th. So maybe Spider-Man will hit when we get to the end of the year. Maybe John Wick Chapter 2 won't be on #1. Who knows? Times will change. A lot of these movies that I discussed on this, I already either own on Blu-ray or I'm waiting for it to be delivered. Don't know. But that's my top 5 movies of the year. You might disagree with me. It's perfectly fine. Your opinion is just as valid as the next person. This is all just a demonstration on how well you are able to speak about your movie. John Wick Chapter 2, fun all around from every fight scene. Ruby Rose, Common is good in this movie. The main bad guy is very good in this movie. Ian McShane pronunciating excommunicado is always a favorite. Keanu Reeves with his deadpan delivery and the ability to show that he can actually still perform these fight scenes at the age of 52. People say he hasn't aged. He hasn't. And this is actually the one movie where I left it thinking, I want to see Chapter 3 and I want to see it now. Like literally every time we walked out of the theater, everyone was like, oh, I want to see where it goes from here. So this, while it does sequel bait, it's sequel baits where I've never seen anyone leave the theater going, I don't want to see the next one. So that's my top 5. Hope you enjoyed this list. See you until next time.